Hey, fairly secret music group. Decided to put a filter on. Who cares? I don't have that shit going where you see a bunch of reflections in my glasses. So, today, I am talking about the supergroup. Supergroups. Rock and roll is dying. We need supergroups to save us. Do we really? I don't know. So, the last video I did solo artists. And there were a few solo artists that I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you watched that video. If not, go back and watch that video. So, do you think we need supergroups? I think there are some amazing supergroups. This, honestly, is a classic rock magazine from 2010. Do we really need more David Grohl stuff? This guy pops up in more projects than anybody else that I know of. Anyway, so let's look at some of their would-be supergroups. We have the what are they called? Them Crooked Vultures. I'm gonna want people to comment on this, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and then I will discuss what supergroups in a later video I think are worthwhile. So, we have Then Crooked Vultures. Let's throw that shit away. I don't know if... Yep, you can see that. Perfect Circle. Right here is the little band known as Alias. There are members of Sheriff were in that band. Perfect Circle was, I think, a guitar tech for Tool, and Maynard on vocals. We have Audio Slave, which were the supergroup with Chris Cornell and basically Rage Against the Machine with Tom, overrated guitarist, Morello. I am giving some of my opinions right now. There was Asia. Asia is one of the best-known supergroups out there. Bad English. I saw Bad English in... let's go back to Asia. Asia was Carl Palmer, John Wenton, Steve Howe, and Jeff Downs. If you don't know who Carl Palmer is, he was in ELP. John Wenton was in Family. For a little bit, he was in Roxy Music. He was in King Crimson. Steve Howe, he was in Yes. If you don't know that, why are you watching my video? Bad English had John Waite, Neil Schon, Jonathan Cain. Was it Jonathan Cain? I'm pretty sure it was Jonathan Cain. Yeah, Jonathan Cain. Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain from Journey. Ricky Phillips, who was in The Babies with John Waite. And last but not least, God, what was his name? Dean Castronova, who ended up being the drummer of Journey, and now is the drummer of... what is that other supergroup called? I'll have to get back to you. He's in a supergroup with Jack Blades and Doug Aldrich from Night Ranger and Lion or Whitesnake or Bad Moon Rising fame. They are called... Shit! Why can't I remember their name? It starts with an R. Let me see. Son of a bitch. I can't figure that out. I just figured it out. It's Revolution Saints. They're newer, but they are awesome. So, yes, my opinion. We have Brides of Destruction. I think that was Nikki Sixx and some other guys. Bad Company. And this is where things get kind of weird. Is Bad Company a supergroup, or are they just a group? Because, I mean, most people don't remember what bands they came from. Same with, like, Cream. Badlands. Badlands had Jakey Lee and Oh God, who else was in there? Jakey Lee and Ray Gillen and Eric Singer. Eric Singer actually sang with Racer X. Nobody knows who the hell that band is. Anyway, let's see some other super groups that they talk about in here. Black Country Communion. That had Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple and Trapeze, Jason Bonham, Joe, how do I pronounce his name? Joe Bonamassa? He's a blues guy. And Derek Sherinian, who played with Alice Cooper and Dream Theater and Tony McAlpine. Blind Faith. Blind Faith is a super group. Yeah, they had... God, who was in there? Steve Winwood, Rick Gretsch. Rick Gretsch was from Family. He left Family to be in this band. And it would have been fantastic. Steve Winwood, Rick Gretsch, and Eric Clapton. But Ginger Baker pushed himself into the band. He kind of forced his way into the band. And I think that ended up being the downfall of the band. Even though Ginger Baker is a monster drummer, he fucks everything up because he's such a crabby asshole. Chickenfoot. Chickenfoot is another super group that has Joe Satriani, Chad Smith, Sammy Hagar, and Michael Anthony. It's just like a test. Cream had Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, and Eric Clapton, all from bands from the 60s, and they all formed this band in the 60s, and they were a super group. But are they a super group again? Are they a super group if we think of them as the rock band that they became? I guess I don't know what I'm saying. When does a supergroup become a supergroup? Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. That was members of the Byrds, members of Buffalo Springfield, and just a lot of stuff. Technically a supergroup. Damn Yankees. Oh my God. Damn Yankees had Jack Blades, Tommy Shaw, Uncle Ted Nugent, and Michael Cordelone, who I believe recorded all of his drum parts in the first take. First take. Do you know how hard that is to do a whole album in the first take as a drummer? That is absolutely bonkers. He just didn't know any better. He said, I didn't think I had time to do other takes. Then we got the Dead Weather. The only person I know in this band is Jack White. Tell me who else is in this band. Or I can read this article. I don't know. If you really love Dead Weather, tell me. How about Emerson, Lake, and Palmer? Oh, wait. Golden Gods. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer were a supergroup of... Greg Lake was from King Crimson. I have no idea where Carl Palmer or Keith Emerson came from. I'm not a big fan, but tell me if you are. Tell me if we should talk about them. The Firm. This had Chris Slade on drums, Paul Rogers, Jimmy Page playing guitar, yet if you listen to the album, it's like, are you going to put some goddamn guitar on this album at all? Because it just seems like a wash of like synthy guitar stuff. But the key person in this band is this guy, this Flock of Seagulls hair guy right here, playing, well, in this picture he has shoes on. Normally he doesn't play, he plays barefoot. Tony Franklin, he was in a band called Blue Murder also with Carmine Appice or Appice. I don't remember how he pronounces it. I think he does it different than his brother Vinny. And John Sykes. They were freaking awesome. I saw them live open up for Billy Squier. And unfortunately, but fortunately, King's X opened up the whole show and blew everybody away. Phantomos. Phantomos has Buzz Osborne from the Melvins, Mike Patton on vocals, He's from Faith No More or Mr. Bungle. Dave Lombardo, Dave Grohl, Dave Lombardo on drums, and gosh, what was his name? Where Trevor Dunn on bass. I guess Terry Bozzio filled in after Dave left, but that really wouldn't do it for me. Gog Magog. I have no idea who Gog Magog is. I'm gonna have to read up on that. Humble Pie. I just thought they were a band. They're not a super group. They're just called Humble Pie. I'll have to read up and find out why they're considered a super group. The Jeff Beck Group. I don't know why they're a super group. I know, though, yes, I do, because Rod Stewart and Ronnie Blackwood were in the band. I don't like Rod Stewart. Convince me otherwise. Tell me why I should like Rod Stewart. Mad Season. It had Mike McCready in it. It's not a goddamn supergroup if it has one member of Pearl Jam and it's a solo project. Probot. Holy shit. That really wasn't a supergroup, as it was just a super compilation group, because it has Dave Grohl writing all the songs with a bunch of different singers. I love it because it got Snake from Voivod back into the studio and finally back with Voivod again. What is that? Planet Us. It's Journey, Van Halen / What Happened? I'll have to read that. Neurotic Outsiders has Guns N' Roses, Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum, with Sex Pistols Steve Jones and Duran Duran bassist John Taylor. I need to find out what the Neurotic Outsiders sound like, because that sounds like a kick-ass lineup. I love John Taylor's bass playing. Oysterhead. I wanted this to be awesome, and when I first got Oysterhead, it's Les Claypool, Stuart Copeland, and Trey from Fish. And up until recently, I wasn't a Fish fan. I am a casual Fish fan now. I really wanted to like it. I didn't at first. I got it like 10 years later, and it's pretty damn good. All right. Oh, we're not done yet. Soul Circus. Jesus Christ, is Neil Schon in everything? Dean Castronova's in the band. Rising Suns were a mid-60s blues supergroup. I'll have to read up on that. Queen plus Paul Rogers. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Should they have done that album? I don't think so. I know they shouldn't have done a live album, but I'm okay with them doing a studio album. I'm just really not okay with them replacing Freddie Mercury, because honestly, Freddie Mercury is the best singer, in my opinion, in the whole entire world, in the history of rock. These Super Sessions with Al Cooper, there is some information on that band that I know. I just cannot remember it. I own the album. And the Traveling Wilburys. The Traveling Wilburys. We all know who's in that band. I did not like them. So I am giving kind of my opinion here. Velvet Revolver. Pretty good. Scott Weiland, again, I think messes everything up by being in a band. Wet, where Jeff Scott Soto and Jeff Scott Soto. You can't call it a supergroup if just Jeff Scott Soto's in the band. And a band called Zwan. All right, I don't know anything about this band. It looks like Billy Corgan. Zwan took 2 parts. Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan and Jimmy Chamberlain. A Slice of Perfect Circle bassist Paz. She was actually pretty damn good. Anyway, so tell me what supergroups you really like. I will answer any questions you have. I will talk about each supergroup, not really fully, but I I just want, what are your opinions? What are your favorite supergroups? Which bands do you think are awesome? Let me know. I'll do a follow-up video about supergroups and tell you my top 5 favorite supergroups. Thank you, Classic Rock, for giving me the idea. I just bought this 8 years after the fact, and it's awesome.